Hello, everyone, and welcome to the nightly Newsy News. I'm Mo, and Fry just ran away because, of course, he did. He will come back because he has his turd toy, the brown toy that you see, is a flying fart. I kid you not. It's true. Thank you, Eris, for, as always, doing the Modly stuff and just being yourself. Vale Hammer Media, thank you for coming. And Phoenix Fire. I wanted to say Firefox. I don't look. Wolfram and John Gary. No, it's drying now. It needs to dry. He's still upset with me. He feels that I have been uniquely unfair to his entire life. Hello, Jude. And I am glad that your day just got brighter. I have been all in Delphi, so that is, you know, not as fun, Jess Rubery. And I may or may not have started calling the lead prosecutor Randall from Recess. So I might get raided. Let's be honest. He might have liked Miami Vice's better because it was cooler, but now he's just Randall from Recess. I know that I need to change his puppy pic to the oh no, I am on a full Delphi no because I have been told there is more stuff coming and I'm about done with that for today. I have a Sarah Boone letter tomorrow. I didn't even want to change wigs to get into Sarah Boone. That's how done I am, which is frightening to me because I love me a good Sarah Boone stuff. You know me. But in more important news, how dare the American government take this poor entrepreneur from Tennessee who was just making moonshine, and of those 81 quarts of confiscated bootleg alcohol, would any happen to fall off a truck asking for a friend? Look, I'm just saying, if some of those ball jars happen to come to my house in case of, the zombie apocalypse, I am okay. A Tennessee man was busted with dozens of jars containing bootleg alcohol after a tip. Who is the rat jack wagon who snitched on this man? Whoever you are a jerk. After a tip led deputies to discover an illegal moonshine operation, authorities said. Investigators responded to a tip and arrived at an area near High Ridge Road in Johnson City. Yeah, he loves his flying turd toy. I don't know why, but we do. Where they conducted a premises check and spoke with 36-year-old Jeremy Steins, the Washington County Sheriff's Office said. Steins told the deputy that the yard barn on the east end of the property had a still and gave his verbal consent to have the structure searched, according to the sheriff's office. The deputies discovered liquor manufacturing equipment and 81 quarts of product, all of which was confiscated. Yeah, I'm confused. What's wrong with moonshine? Moonshine is legal, I thought. Steins was cited for manufacture of alcoholic beverage, possession of a still, and unlawful storage of liquor for sale. So if he should have just said, no, it's all for me. I'm simply an alcoholic. I'm Catholic, Your Honor. Look, I'm a former Catholic. I can make that joke. This is just mean. And look at all of this. It looks terribly good. And like Mo gets a seventh kid. Look, there may or may not have been some moonshine involved in how the youngest, most feral got here. Now, Mo doesn't drink. We all know this. Okay, Mo Kitty drinks. And then there was a Memorial Day party, and Mo's brothers decided to bring moonshine. And when Mo is around her brothers, she doesn't make the best decisions. So I decided to try to keep up with my brothers. There you go. Tennessee law states that it is unlawful for any person to have possession or control of any still or other apparatus or part of a still or other apparatus to be used for the purpose of manufacturing intoxicating liquor without a license. You know what, Tennessee? It's not like he was making the, method acting stuff. Could we at least give him points for knowing how to make booze? I mean, I don't know how to make booze. I would be, I mean, it looks like it takes math and science. I, have brewed my own wine. I'm just saying this is some BS and we need to start a letter campaign. I also need to know where all 81 quarts of that product is going to go because I'm just saying, as a concerned citizen, I'm going to need to taste test all of this for science. The unlawful manufacturing of alcoholic beverages and unlawful storage of liquor for sale are both Class A misdemeanors. Okay, all right. Okay, so you're telling me now, Tennessee, I'm guessing you've solved all other major crimes. I'm guessing there's no unalivings, no force multiplier, robberies, nothing else going on. So you managed to capture the one guy who's doing, wrongness. And whoever snitched on this dude, total party foul. You are such a douche. Anywho, never give anyone the right to search your property. What you should have said, sir, is I'm gonna need you to bring a warrant. And then suddenly you're still, and all of your liquor just happened to fall off a boat somewhere. Note, duct tape and holy water does not give out legal advice, and I'm pretty sure this is unlegal advice. Oh, I will definitely have to send this to the expert. Yes, Failhammer, they caught the one moonshiner, and yet 100 bajillion meth labs still happen. Fry has a bone. We got these treats at Sam's Club that he loves. Fryberto? You're supposed to chew on it, not eat it whole, you dingus. Why are you you? It's like having another feral. I know, it's like on Super Troopers when they got the bunch of, the devil's lettuce and even the, the governor was like, "Is it Colombian, nose clams?" And they're like, "No, it's the devil's lettuce." And they're like, "Oh, really?" I mean, in other news, but thank goodness, uh, after being abused by their ridiculous parents with this freaking horrible haircut and all of this other stuff, the Turpin siblings were failed then again by the foster system of California. Are we shocked? No, unfortunately. But they are going to have a showdown with the foster care system and are now ready to battle for a settlement and for justice. A group of California siblings who escaped from hellish captivity from what has been dubbed a house of horrors, only to face more abuse in the Riverside County foster care system, are now quote unquote digging in for a prolonged court battle as a settlement in the case seems elusive, according to their lawyer. The youngest 6 of the 13 Turpin children sued Riverside County, Child Net Youth and Family Services, and Foster Family Network, alleging they were placed into equally horrible treatment after they were rescued from their parents' torturous home in 2018. Now, if you guys remember this case, these two weirdos, the Turpins, had just a boatload of kids. They were claiming that they, were homeschooling and all of this, but what they were really doing is they would have a baby, keep the baby for about a year or so, and then leave the children, the older children, locked up in a filthy house, sometimes chained to the beds. And finally, one of the sisters, I think, one of the oldest one, who was about 26, I believe, but hadn't ever been outside, she finally ran into the police because they had no food. The parents hadn't visited back. Friberto, what do you have? Oh, it's one of your toys. And the body cam footage of that is heartbreaking because she sounds like a 9-year-old. She doesn't know her address. She doesn't know her phone number. She doesn't know anything, but she is terrified her parents might find out that she escaped. And these people are gross. The parents were involved in swinging and all ridiculousness. They did take the children to Disney World, I think, once a year, but it was all sorts of torture and horror. I mean, they chained the kids to beds. It was just gross. And then, of course, they were put in foster care and they were placed in equally abusive households because some people use the foster care system as a paycheck. And apparently, child services doesn't do background checks or doesn't check up on people because they are art tarts. Elon Zexter, the attorney representing a group of siblings in their lawsuits, told Fox News Digital that the Turpins' plan is to hold the defendants' feet to the fire and are eager to question them under oath. Well, we learned from the Baxter yesterday that lying under oath isn't really an issue. Yeah, Christy Marie is right. Eris, you will need way more drinks for this backstory. It's a hard one. I'm going to go with Elon said the ordeal shows we are headed into some more serious litigation, he said. People are digging their heels in on all sides because no one likes to take responsibility for such horrific conduct. It's not easy for people to accept the fact that what they did caused horrific harm to children. Elon said that the ordeal shows serious flaws in how helpless foster children are handled by the government and agencies that are supposed to find them homes. I mean, it's almost like bureaucracy is stupid, and the, child protective services are the last people that should protect children. Before the Olgan foster family ordeal, Jordan Turpin, just 17, escaped from her parents' Paris, California home in 2018 and called 911. Police rescued her captive siblings who were between the ages of 2 and 29. The daring escape through a window and the discovery of the filthy conditions in which their parents kept them attracted international media attention and exposed treatment that Zestker called absolutely disgusting and harmful. Police found 2 of the siblings chained to their beds. The victims hadn't bathed in months, and the house reeked of human waste. Despite all the attention on the case, the youngest 6 children wound up in a new abusive household. Quote, the new family says, your parents are right. You're nobodies. You're filth. You don't deserve to eat lunch. Zesker said, it's unfathomable. Yes, these 2 were the biological parents. I don't understand the bowl cut. I really don't. Good evening, Erin Olivia. I hope you are doing well. And hello, JKD Buck. I'm going to have to do an actual rumble on the story you gave me because I don't know that YouTube would actually like that one, but I will do a rumble of that one. The fact that it happened to victims of such a high-profile rescue shows how bad the foster system can be, he added. Quote, they will hold ChildNet and the County of Riverside accountable, he said. They are not going to act weak or just hope this goes away. The Turpins' real parents have been sentenced to life in prison. Their foster parents, Rosa and Marcelino Ogden, and the couple's adult daughter, Lenny's, were arrested in March 2001 and released on bail. All three have pled not guilty, according to Fox News or Fox 11 Los Angeles. Despite quote-unquote credible prior allegations of abuse and neglect, the Olgins continued to receive foster placements due to a financial incentive that prioritized funding over the children, according to the lawsuit. Against the advice of some of its own employees, ChildNet placed plaintiffs and two of their siblings in foster care with Mr. and Mrs. Olgin, the lawsuit alleges. Soon thereafter, defendants were put on notice that these foster parents and their adult daughters were sexually, physically, emotionally abusing and severely neglecting the plaintiffs. So they went from being not bathed, not fed, chained to their beds, at least not being touched by their parents, to another hell. And if they don't get justice, I'm about to lose my mind. The Olgins then allegedly abused physically the Turpin children with shoes and belts, pulled their hair, force-fed them excessive foods and their own throw up, and abused them in a SA manner, in a grape manner, if you will. ChildNet spokesperson Brett Lewis previously told Fox News Digital in a statement that the, quote, organization is not at liberty to disclose facts or discuss allegations made in the complaint. How about you effing apologize, you absolute turd? The Turpins were jerks, but then the state of California was like, hey, you know, you've had kind of a crappy life. How about we make it shittier? You know, at this point, if I was Empress of the World, I would disband all CPSs and start all over again, because obviously these you know, organizations don't do what they're supposed to do. I mean, how many children have ended up unalive in CPS care? More than you want to know, believe me. Ugh. Hey, gives me back the money. Oklahoma asks teachers to return up to $50,000 in bonuses the state says were paid in error. Again, my bonus fell off my boat. I have no idea where it happened to land. Wolfram, I'm telling you what. Look, allegedly, I'm not recommending this, but if the trucker convoy happens to get done in Texas, I say the trucker convoy goes straight to California and hangs out at, you know, the courthouse. Get some justice for these kiddos. But that's just me. And again, this is why I'm not put in charge of anything, because I'm a ding-dong. And I should not be trusted with anything, because I go full on like flipping tables modes. All right. Oklahoma City. With 4 young children and a 5th on the way, Christina Staldman was ecstatic after qualifying for a $50,000 bonus for taking a hard-to-fill job as a special education teacher in Oklahoma. She improvements and buy a new car for her growing family. Then a letter arrived from Oklahoma State Department of Education. It told her she received the money in error and must repay it quickly. No. How about no? Obviously, I don't have the money to pay it back by the end of February. You absolute douche canoes. Stadelman said, I came home the day I found out and just cried for 2 days straight. The errant payments, first reported by Oklahoma Watch, and the repayment demands have Oklahoma's education agency drawing fierce criticism from both Republican and Democratic lawmakers. Holy craboli. We've got the Republicans and Democrats to agree. Hello, Young. Sorry. I'm trying to scratch, fry, and read and do things. Some of whom say that teachers should not be forced to give back the money. Yeah, no crap, Sherlock. Average teacher pay in Oklahoma is about $54,800, which ranks 38th in the country according to National Education Association. I wonder how much the administrators make, the principals, the superintendents, those guys. I wonder how much they make. Because, we have this kind of BS here in Indiana, and it's always amazing to see that, the football team gets a new, stadium, the pool is leaking and has mice and mold, but we'll get to it. And somehow the superintendent always seems to get a raise for some reason. Who knew? Because he's intending to do something, I guess. I'm superintending to do stuff all the time. I'm fixing to do a lot of stuff. The bonuses were awarded under an Oklahoma program that is intended to help recruit new teachers for the most difficult jobs to fill, including early elementary and special education. In the wake of the mishap, Oklahoma legislators are looking to overhaul the program to prevent paying these bonuses in a lump sum and implement a more rigorous screening process. The department spokesperson did not respond to a request for comment on how many bonuses were paid in error or how it intends to claw them back. Oklahoma Watch reported that at least 9 teachers were asked to return bonuses ranging from $15,000 to $50,000. A total of $185,000 went to teachers who didn't qualify for the program at all, and $105,000 was overpaid to teachers who qualified for a lesser amount. Thank you for becoming a member. Let me put this here, and I will put this up after the stream. I actually need to get a pen. Because I am moving things around, my backdrop should be coming in tomorrow. Sir, do not scratch my leg. But thank you for becoming a member, M. Young. You know what? I didn't realize I hadn't subscribed to Baker, and I think I haven't subscribed to Excited Utterance yet, and I need to do that. I feel like a ding-dong. But my brainy bits sometimes forget to do all the brainy things. It's almost like bureaucracy is really, really irresponsible with money that isn't theirs. Like they didn't earn it. It's your money that you gave them, like taxpayer money. I don't know. It's just an observation. The state superintendent of public instruction, I wonder how much he makes. Ryan Walters, who implemented the program, suggested in a memo sent Monday to legislative leaders that some of the errant bonuses were because teachers had misrepresented their experience and qualifications. He blamed the media for much of the fallout. Quote, the press has jumped the gun on their reporting, excluding vital details on the contracts and our auditing system, Walters wrote in a memo obtained by the Associated Press. The fact of the matter is that over 500 teachers were recruited to Oklahoma classrooms through this program. And we're going to get money back from all 500. Still, lawmakers from both parties have leveled fierce criticism at Walters and the agency, but I bet he'll become a senator because you only fail up in bureaucracy. Look, I may be in a kind of pissy mood because the state papers from Delphi is, they kind of put me in a pissy mood with the state. So I'm sorry if I'm dogging on the government a little much today, but this is ticking me off. Uh, Quote, as a former teacher, I cannot imagine the anxiety something like this would induce. To be deemed eligible and receive a large bonus in my bank account, only to be told months later that I must return it, said State Rep. Rhonda Baker, a Yukon Republican and chair of the House Common Education Committee. It was up to the State Department of Education to provide proper oversight in vetting and approval of the bonus recipients. I mean, I feel like I'm beating a dead equine, but I'm here from the government, or I'm from the government and I'm here to help. The scariest words in the English language. Stadelman told the AP that her bonus came to about $29,000 after taxes. Oh, that's special. They give you, so she was given $54,800, but the government then took nearly half of that and she got $29,000 after taxes. So the government already took half of it back. Sirs, y'all already took half of it back. She said her blood pressure spiked after she got the letter, which she said was ineligible, which said she was ineligible because she had previously been employed as a full-time special education teacher in another district last year, even though she said she indicated that on her application. It is not the first time that Walters, a conservative Republican who leads the department and who has embraced culture war issues, oh, for the love of it, has come under fire for alleged misspending of public funds. A state audit for federal, the unspecified virus of unknown origins funds for the Governor's Emergency Education Fund, or GEAR, during the time when Waters served as the governor's education secretary, found more than $1.7 million was spent on non-educational items such as kitchen appliances, power tools, furniture, and entertainment. Yay! Thank you so much. I hope that your trial isn't a giant dumpster fire. Thank you for sending me your viewers. Thank you for a U-raid. Go get some sleep. He has also faced criticism after the news outlet For the Frontier reported this month that he expensed more than $4,000 on travel for out-of-state speaking engagements, media appearances, and a horror movie premiere, despite the governor's executive order banning public spending for most travel outside of Oklahoma. Well, isn't that special? It's almost like rules for thee, but not for moi. It's really interesting. Come on. What in the actual heck is going on? Also, look, I'm pretty sure it's a cardinal sin to unalive a priest, okay, y'all? Oh, Mustang McCracken, it's definitely a dumpster fire, frustrating to watch. I am in a mood. Look, if I would drink, it would be a cursey stream, and I try to keep a cursey stream. I try to warn people of a cursey stream. He's behind my desk because he's being a booger. Let me see if I can get him. No, wrong side. There we go. He is being an absolute booger monkey. Oh, yeah, mortal. I was thinking cardinal venial. Yeah, look, all I'm saying is this dude's gonna have to wear, like, some Crocs to go to church now. All right. An unalived retired priest's sister before fatally shooting grandpa at a birthday party rampage that ended with a shootout with the cops. Holy fazoli's. You know, Diston, I don't know because I will say that Styx Hexenhammer kind of says what he wants, and he doesn't seem to be bothered by it, but I don't know. A retired Catholic priest and his sister were gunned down in Florida by a 24-year-old man who then fatally shot his grandfather during a birthday party and wounded 2 police officers before he was taken out, according to reports. Okay, I think we need to do this. Florida man. Why am I Palm Bay police responded about 2 p.m. Sunday to a domestic disturbance call at a resident on Forgle Avenue Northeast where a birthday party was taking place, WESH reported, citing police chief Mario Aguelo. Brandon Kappa's uncle told officers that he was armed and had force multipliers in his vehicles, but before they confronted him, he unalived his grandfather, William Kappas, 78, according to the outlet. Aguelo and the family said the grandfather, who was visiting from Kentucky to celebrate his sister's birthday, was unalived as he was chasing after the suspect to try to get him to stop the rampage in the community about 70 miles southeast of Orlando. When the police encountered Kappas, he walked quickly toward his vehicle and at least one officer used a taser and a struggle ensued. After he managed to break free, 2 police officers were wounded in an exchange of freedom seeds that took out Kappas, said the police chief. Police later discovered an entire arsenal of weapons inside the vehicle. This is not supernatural, sir. And learned that the vehicle did not even belong to Kappas, Fox 35 Orlando reported. Officers tracked the registered owner to a home in the northern part of the city where they found 2 more people not alive. The deceased were identified as Reverend Robert Hoffner, a retired priest, and his sister, Sally Hoffner. Slidey Pie, I am not sure. If anyone else is on Rumble, Slidey Pie is watching over on Rumble. On Monday, Aguelo said the gunman has a relationship with the 2, but its nature is unclear, according to NBC News. Quote, "I lost my father. He was my role model. I'm the man I am because of him," William Kappas Jr. told Florida Today. "He was very loving and he will very much be missed. Obviously, this is a very traumatic time for us. Brandon was my nephew," he said. Bishop John Noonan, who oversees the Orlando Diocese and its 400,000 Catholics, issued a statement Monday about the loss. "We mourn with the St. Joseph Catholic community in Palm Bay over the tragic loss of these 4 lives as we pray for the repose of their soul and extend our prayers to their families," he wrote. Throughout his priesthood, Father Hoffner served the people of God with compassion and humility, and we will miss his grace-filled presence. We know he and his sister are received by the Lord with mercy and love, Noonan continued. "We also pray for the 2 officers who were injured yesterday and our public servants who safeguard our community and extend our gratitude to them during this difficult time," he added. One of the officers was wounded in the arm and the other was hit in the leg, Aguelo said, adding that they are both doing okay. Aguelo described his officers as heroic and called the suspect, quote, potentially a active pew-pew guy. Because so many force multipliers were found in the vehicle. Oh, for the love of Cheetos. Teen girl talking to not boyfriend. The top cop said his motive was unknown. We don't know what sparked it, Aguelo said, adding that Kappas had a criminal history that included driving under the influence and a resisting arrest, NBC News reported. It is unclear whether he was referring to charges or convictions. It's unfortunate. These are circumstances that affected multiple families. It was tragic no matter how you look at it. It was tragic that our officers were shot protecting our community, the chief said. Well, I will find stories and we will make a stream. Distant, I promise. I got sidetracked today with a bunch of paperwork. Um, I feel very bad for this family. I can only imagine the terror and, what should have been a celebration of a life and, another year on this planet turned into chaos. And the police officers that got wounded, I hope they recover. And I hope that this family gets all the support and help they need. In other news, I don't know where everyone is. Oh, they must have updated this. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Okay, well, this was a current Amber Alert, but now it is not. Daggone it. Try not to curse. Anger rising. Amber Alert canceled for Kentucky 5-year-old after mother Kelly Black found not alive. Kentucky authorities canceled an Amber Alert issued Monday morning for 5-year-old girl. Oh, well, I guess I should have read further into the article. After she was found safe. Thank you, Jesus. Something good happened in January. Holy fazolies. January, you're about ready to make me lose my mind. The Amber Alert issued by Kentucky State Police said Leah Black who is believed to have been taken by her biological father, Byron Black, a fugitive who was sought in connection with the death of Kelly Black, Leah's mother. On Monday afternoon, police say Byron Black was taken into custody. Police describe Byron Black, 42, as potentially armed and dangerous. No one had heard from Leah or Byron Black since Friday, the alert said. Authorities found 42-year-old Kelly Black dead at home in Princeton, Kentucky on Sunday. She was unalived with a force multiplier wound to the back of her head. I know Old Line Red. I was about to say, I am not reading this. I refuse. I was gonna take this story and go home. Becca Lynn, I know this January has been a year. I'm like, this month has felt like a year. Holy cow. Kentucky State Police said Byron and Leah were last seen in a 1996 Chevrolet Silverado with paint peeling off the hood and a California license plate. So I am very glad that they found this little girl. I can't imagine, sadly, what she's going to have to go through now that she's basically lost both parents, one to tragedy and one to being an absolute douche canoe. So I'm hoping that there are family members that will step up so she doesn't have to go into the system, or maybe even good friends. So I am very, very glad that she was found alive, and I do hope that there are either family members or close friends that will take her in and love her just like she was their own and get her the help that she needs, because I am sure that this will be not an easy thing. Well, we all have those days. Things I never thought I would say on a live stream for 500, Alex. Quote, she also admitted to urinating on him, end quote. YouTube, this is all law and crime. I didn't even make this crap up, okay? And we need the banner again. We need the stinger. It's Florida. Whoa, man. And yes, that is a whoa man right there. Florida wife allegedly bites, batters, and tries to unalive husband after he received a postcard from a woman he dated 60 years ago. Holy meatballs. Actually, Mustang McCracken, this was actually sent to me by Salbert. So thank you, Salbert. A Florida wife is behind bars for trying to unalive her husband of several decades. Look, ma'am, he is stuck with you, and you look somewhat like. Does anyone remember the Crypt Keeper? I say no more. Look, he is stuck with you. And you tried to whiz on him? What, ma'am? He got a postcard. Unless it said, I want to do you, I think you'll be okay. Because her husband of several decades got a postcard from a long ago ex-girlfriend, a woman he dated some 60 years ago, according to law enforcement. Bertha, ma'am, God really gave you the most perfect name. Yalter, 71, stands accused of 1 count each of attempted murder in the second degree, aggravated battery against an elderly person, and tampering with a witness or victim, according to the Miami-Dade County court records reviewed by Law and Crime. When the violence unfolded, the couple had been married for nearly 52 years, according to the North Miami Beach Police Department. The underlying incident occurred on Sunday, January 28th, according to the arrest report obtained by Miami-based NBC affiliate WTVJ and CBS affiliate WPLG. The couple lived in Eastern Shore's neighborhood of North Miami Beach. The detectives arrived at the residence around 3:40 p.m. I love it. They even commit their crimes early in the evening so they can get to the, 5 o'clock special for dinner. I'm a terrible person and going straight to purgatory. That day, in response to a man calling saying his wife had tried to unalive him in their gated community, according to the arrest report. Responding officers reportedly found the victim in an extremely fragile state with several serious bruises and open lacerations, as well as an open bite marks that were bleeding. Ma'am, did you actually go the F feral? I mean, did you lose your MF mind? Did you drink Drano? I mean, how much boxed wine had you had that day? For the love of all that is holy. Also, did you use your own teeth or were they dentures? I don't know why that just popped into my head, but I find it relevant to ask. Guess I'm going to have to read the files. And I don't know why that's relevant to me now, but I need to know. The attempted murder, the man allegedly told the law enforcement, occurred when he received a postcard from a woman he dated before marrying his wife in the 60s. Some aspect of the long-gone lover's decades later outreach greatly angered the defendant, who first tried to smother her husband with a pillow, police allege. You're supposed to do that when they're asleep, not when they're awake. Did you turn off her stories too? Did you hide her Virginia Slims? I mean, there must be something more to this story. Did you hide her Bartle and James wine coolers? I'm gonna need to know. Holy crap, ma'am. I mean, you could have just given him X-Lax brownies or, just not done his laundry. I mean, there are many pettier ways to be a little bit of a C word, but biting and peeing on what? Are you R. Kelly? For the love of God. At least some of the alleged attack was captured on a cell phone, police said. Did you pull a flippin' Sarah Boone? Are you flippin' kidding me? Did you film yourself, you giant weirdo? Allegedly. Detectives on the scene viewed the footage and allegedly confirmed the man's story. Bertha Yalter also allegedly admitted to depriving her husband of his cell phone at some point, a prosecutor alleged during a later bond hearing. The defendant also allegedly confessed to committing the attack when interviewed by law enforcement, according to the police report obtained by Tampa-based Fox affiliate WTVT. According to the recorded bond hearing and first appearance on Monday, the victim was identified as having the initials MY. The defendant was ordered to have no contact with him in any way, shape, or form. The judge and prosecutor in the case also remarked upon the nature of the incident, mentioning the postcard from the other woman. During the bond hearing, a public defender who was initially assigned to the case moved to have charges against Bertha Yalter downgraded to domestic battery. Oh, hell no. No, I'm sorry, being old and apparently just mean and hateful and old and a woman, no, you still tried to unalive this man. The defense attorney argued that the state often tries to paint such cases as attempted murders. Quote, "Judge, there is nothing indicating she was trying to kill him." Okay, I didn't want to have to do this, but I think we're going to need the mini board of truth. Because, yes. Okay. All right. So, now, defense lady. This is a guy. He's now pretend that he is old. And he's just lying down on a little couch. Now, if his crazy heifer of a wife, well, that's not anatomically correct, but if his crazy heifer of a wife tries to put a damned pillow over his face, that is called attempted unaliving. I mean, I'm not a legal, lawful law, pro se, esquire attorney such as Daryl Brooks. But I'm just gonna guess that if you try to stuff a pillow over someone's face, you're definitely trying to unalive them. Thank you for stopping by, MP. I appreciate it. Also, boobies. If you try to squat on your husband and take a little whiz, that's just gross. Now stop. Don't do drugs. I feel like I shouldn't have to, explain that to a defense attorney, but, I'm gonna need to, I shouldn't have to splainerate this, but okay. This is like Chandler Halderson's, lawyer. Okay. But there's nothing indicating that he unalived his parents. Ma'am. An attorney for the state, however, began reading from the arrest report to justify the more serious charges. The prosecutor remarked that the attempted smothering by a pillow covered attempted murder because, quote, that would suffocate and kill him. Yeah, he might have a point there. Quote, I think she also admitted to urinating on him, the state attorney said. So I think if you look at the totality of circumstances, this appears to be more than domestic battery by strangulation. Yeah. I mean, it's a normal day for Amber Heard, allegedly, but, attempted murder for other people. Amber Heard, don't come at me. I'm still not going to go see Aquaman 2. In theaters. I might watch it later. Look, I don't like Jason Momoa guy, but I like the other one. The blonde one. Miami-Dade County Circuit Judge Ellen Sue Venzer agreed with the state. The court ordered the defendant to remain in pretrial detention pending a final bond hearing. On Tuesday, that hearing was scheduled for February 1st. Since her first court appearance, Bertha Yalter retained private counsel. Law and Crime reached out to her attorneys for comment on the case, but no response was immediately forthcoming at the time of publication. The city of North Miami Beach declined to release any records relating to this case due to the ongoing investigation. Law and Crime also reached out to Miami-Dade Clerk of Courts for additional information about this case, but no response was immediately forthcoming at time of publication. Good night, Aaron Olivia. Have a great evening. In funnier news, Taylor Drift or Beyond Slay. Voting open to name Minnesota snowplows. Snowplows are essential to enduring winter in Minnesota, so maybe it's not surprising that every year thousands of people vote on names for the giant machines that clear the state's road, such as Plowy McPlowface, I love it, and Darth Blader, even better. The often icy state began naming its 800 plows in 2020 and is expected to announce the winners of its 2023 to 2024 Name a Snowplow contest early next week, adding 8 selections to the more than 36 names it already has. This year's 49 finalists, one name was discarded after MDOT realized it had been previously selected, include Beyond Slay, Taylor Drift, Aaron Burr. Sir voting continues through Sunday. Or Aaron Burr's her voting continues through Sunday, and people don't need to be Minnesota residents to weigh in. We definitely know snow in Minnesota, and anyone who lives up here knows the challenge of those conditions and the challenges of trying to keep the roads safe for folks to travel during the winter, said Ann Meyer, the spokesperson for Minnesota Department of Transportation, which hosts the contest. The agency knew officials in Scotland had named snowplows for years and decided a similar effort in Minnesota might draw attention to their winter work, Meyer said. In response, the response in the first year of the contest was overwhelming, with about 24,000 submissions and 122,000 votes cast. Participation has dropped over the years but remains strong, with about 8,000 submissions for the latest contest. Besides Plowy McPlowface and Darth Blader, winners over the year have included Blizzard of Oz, Snoop Dogg, and Han Snowlow. Top names often have Minnesota connections. F. Salt Fitzgerald was a nod to St. Paul's born author F. Scott Fitzgerald. Okay, I'm going to come out with a very unpopular opinion, but I hated The Great Gatsby. I thought it was a dumb book. He died at the end. I love it, Becca Lynn. I didn't understand it. Look, it just made no point. He loved a lady that was already married. She kind of seemed like a flake. Look, meh. I didn't like it. While the truck formerly known as Plow recognized musician Prince, who for a time famously declined to be recognized by a spoken name. The response in Minnesota has prompted states and cities across the country to hold similar contests to name snowplows, from Alaska to California to Ohio and Massachusetts. New Mexico launched its first Name a Snowplow contest this winter, drawing more than 1,500 submissions and 23,000 votes to name 12 of the state's 400 plows. Winners included Fleetwood Mac, Mr. Snow-It-All, and Billy the Skid, acknowledging New Mexico roots of gunslinger Billy the Kid. There's a natural infatuation with snowplows, said Christine Bustos McClinick, A spokesperson for the New Mexico Department of Transportation. They're big, huge trucks. They look great on the road, and they are such a visual statement to the core of DOT. You know what would be a great visual representation of DOT? Pot marks being filled. That would be awesome. I mean, I salt line or salt line for the love of all that is Cheetos. Old line red, I love it. Control Salt Delete. Uh, Lincoln, Nebraska also held its first snowplow naming contest this year. More than 2,300 people voted to name 8 city plows, with Cleopatra taking honors as the top selection. We hope that this helps to develop a closer relationship with people and we can show them that we are human too. Um, I don't think anyone thought you were a robot. But again, how about them potholes? Erica Hill, a spokesperson for Lincoln's Transportation and Utilities Department, we're laughing along with them about some of these great names. Plowy McPlowface is a favorite in many of the contests, in part because it harkens back to a rejected online vote in 2016 to name a British polar research vessel Bodie McBoatface, although that choice garnered more than 3 times the votes of its closest competitor. Officials opted to name the ship after naturalist Sir David Attenborough. Minnesota plans to keep its contest going in the coming years, and Meyer noted that each plow keeps its name, which is displayed along the side of the vehicle. We've got 800 snow plows statewide for the Minnesota Department of Transportation, so we have a lot of snow plows to name, Meyer said. He has actually been pretty feisty. I have been mopping all day, so he has not been super happy with me because it's harder for me to mop. So I got one of the uh crosswave thingies so it vacuums and mop at the same time. So it's definitely a little bit easier for me. But he doesn't really like the noise. He is not a fan. And welcome, Spirit Matter. I am actually about to wrap up because, well, and he's still mad at me that I'm cleaning his pineapple bed. So, you know, he thinks I am being mean, but it's terribly dirty because he likes to bury things in it and it becomes gross and it needs to be cleaned. And he is mad. So, but that is the end of this nightly Newsy News, and I have you guys redirected to go to Shizzy because we will be continuing our viewing and roast of Sadie. Uh, so I will say yes and no. I like it because it does vacuum and mop, but for harder things, eventually you get a little annoyed because, like, I could take a scrub brush and get down on my hands and knees and do this 13 times faster. You're welcome, Sadie. Uh, so it's definitely, it is definitely a different thing, but I do like that it's easy to pull out if I have a spill or something because sometimes my left hand will kind of crap out and I'll just drop something. And with kids around, it's easy for me to just pull it out. I can clean it. It self-cleans. And since I was okay with it having a cord, it was much less expensive than having a cordless ion-powered thing. So I will say that I was okay with having a cord. Some people really find cordless, things very important. I wasn't that worried about it. I just wanted my floors to not look like we lived in hoarders. So I will say it works okay, but sometimes I still break out the broom. So there you go. Have a wonderful evening. And guys, remember, say something nice to yourself. It's a rough world out there. It's been a crazy, crazy month already. January's done filled our bingo cards with, Teenage Mutant Hasidic Jews. Let's see, Vince McMahon pooing on people. The guy from Sharknado getting in a mini bike fight. Let's see, what else have we had? We've had a reverend getting into a fist fight at McDonald's, a guy getting into a domestic violence incident with a love toy, if you will. We've had all the things, and it's only been January. So, say something nice to yourself, say something nice to someone else. It you know, honest to goodness, you never know when your little bit of kindness might be the only nice thing that someone has heard in quite a long time. And like I said, it's been a crazy month already. So we can definitely all work on being a little bit kinder. I am going to get off of here and go directly to Shizzy's stream. So I will see you guys there. Have a great evening. If you don't follow me, I hope you get some good sleep or going to work and getting up wherever you are in the world. See ya in a little bit. Bye, guys.